We are live.
Okay, Cyrus says, and I have to whisper this entire episode before I believe my lovely guests are going to come and appear and take over and make the show worthwhile for people. I have to whisper because my son is doing some Canadian entrance exam. Yes, that's right. South Bombay boy doesn't want to be educated here. Why? Nobody knows. The vaccine is available in Canada closer to the college. But the main point is I have to keep quiet because they, when they have these foreign university exams, don't want any sound or any disturbance because they think you'll be cheating. Now that works in the West. I have no problem with that because they live in big bungalows and gardens and all that, and they have lots of space for their kids, etc. But we have 20 people per room in Mumbai as a normal policy. So it's very difficult to do this. So I appeal to the West to understand the cultures are different. And when you send your stuff to us to do, you have to translate it locally. It doesn't work. Please understand. Like for you, spitting is a bad thing. For us, spitting is time pass. Please understand all this. It's called Cyrus Says, Let's Meet Our Guests. And today, I've got people who are doing wonderful work. Well, I hope they're still doing wonderful work, but they have started doing it. First, let me call on Shantanu, who's written the book. Shantanu, where's the book? Show us the book.
Right here.
There it is. It says, I came upon a lighthouse. I'll get into it in a second, but I want to introduce both the guests. Shantanu, you've written the book. We'll come to why and how. In the background of your lovely frame, there are guitars, all types. There's electric, there's a acoustic, there's a picture of no, Jimi Hendrix over your, I was going to say Chuck Berry, Jimi Hendrix over your shoulder, and you've got a Cornell University degree of business in the background. So you're the typical overachiever. Let me see, Naidu. So Telugu descent, I presume, overachiever, a completely crazy man who must have got the first place in every school exam, and also super talented playing instruments from the age of 3. And I don't know, you must be doing a little Kathakali on the side as well. We have no idea how much talent people like you have. It's shameful. Don't come on my show again because it makes me look bad. Now we have Rishi, who's going by the name Maharishi Dave, fair enough, who's, in spite of his sweet, innocent face, is a man who's done so much work in the defense of animals and also with young children, which is the second part of his life because he's also a lawyer. So one you take and one you give. It's a bit like the Salman Khan philosophy. He also does a lot of charity, but ek do paap hai baki. All right, so let's talk. Let's discuss the book Once Upon a Time, long, long ago. Shantanu, where did this idea come from? And first, just tell us a little bit about yourself because you look so young. You look like a guy who hasn't started reading, for someone like me. Please, no disrespect, but you just look so. I've never seen such a young person in my life since my son was born and I held him in just for 2 minutes. The innocence on your face, but obviously there's a wisdom and there's a compassion and there's intelligence. So let's get to it. Tell us, show us the book. Keep showing us the book. It's important. My people don't read.
Well,
They're visual people. They want to see book.
the book is called I Came Up on a Lighthouse, and it's a millennial's memoir about life with Ratan Tata. So I met him about 5 years ago, and my entire family has been like a generational Tata family. My
Oh,
great grandfather, my grandfather, my father, and me, and
sorry
my
to interrupt,
cousin.
but isn't that a lot of people I know like that, where
Yeah.
generations have worked? That's the thing about the Tata's relative family's family thing.
Yeah, I
Sorry,
think
go
it's
on.
the company culture that sort of binds together and has people carry it on through their family. And I was
Yeah.
one of those. We
Hmm.
were we weren't very well-known executives or anything like chota mota engineer here and there. No,
Huh.
we've never met the Tatas before this.
Right.
So once I started this animal welfare initiative called Motor Paws, which is because you're visual,
Yeah.
we made these reflective collars
Yes.
out of denim pants. We cut the denim pants, we
While the
stitched on
person is
reflectives.
still wearing the pants.
And fortunately, not all those three, four denims we have on in our wardrobes that we think will fit into, but that's never going to happen.
You're talking about
Those are
weight
the
problems, Mr. Naidu. And will you please stand up and show the audience what is it, a 28-inch waist? My
sorry,
God,
actually.
that's awful. That's like satire. This is good satire. You're looking at a chubby guy talking to you, an old man, and you're telling me about your problems with health and waistline. My God. Sorry, let's not interrupt your flow. Back to you.
So we used to cut up and we used to stitch all these collars and we collared a lot of dogs in Pune to begin with. We brought students. We didn't have a lot of cash, which is where the denim idea came in because we wanted to save money. And Mr. Tata eventually took note of it and he called us to his office and he said, "You are all young students. I don't want you to keep digging into your own pockets. So let me help you with this."
Wow.
And he made the primary investment. And
One
that's where
point,
the
1 point for the Parsi community, as usual, always ready for philanthropy and helping others, especially animals. Go on.
I think that's where the friendship sort of began, an informal relationship began where we started exchanging emails and we started following up on each other. And my mother, she used to tell me that you have been unknowingly enlisted in this little piece of history because you've actually met a Tata and now you're becoming friends with him. So she used to give me all these little red notebooks to come back home and write down what happened and how exactly it happened. just for the sake of posterity and just so people in the future know. Not the idea of a book was not there. And then one notebook turned to two notebook, turned to three, four, five notebooks. And then eventually, as I started getting more visibility when I started working with Mr. Tata,
So you
people
worked with him
all,
hands-on. You worked with him
yeah,
like together. You
yeah.
got to meet him and interact and all that.
Yeah, so my daily life,
Oh,
I spend with him. I am his executive assistant,
wow.
and I manage the startups and the
So
philanthropy side of it.
whatever you do, just as a side note, don't mention my name because my first name is Cyrus. Huh? Just as a side note. Let us move on.
Incidentally, we were watching the news a couple of months ago, and your show did come on, and he remembered you.
Oh
So
my God.
I
I'm the
won't say
Cyrus
what
he
he.
likes then.
And
Yeah.
after a point, all the millennials who really revere him as an icon. There's like the boomer community who really industry like treats him as a big toy and industrialist,
I think
which
it's
is
not
true.
just the younger generation. The Tata
Yeah,
name and his name is I mean across generations. Yeah. I
exactly.
just want
But
to
the
include
millennial
myself because
community,
you're pushing us to the side boomer and this and that. Rishi, so
Yeah.
you should also say something. You're in between him and me. No, wow, you're 1 or 2 years younger than me. Uh,
the Gen Z and the millennials have this very
oops. Shantanu, are you? I think you're hanging a little bit, so we'll go quickly to Rishi till we get you back. Rishi, are you there?
Yeah.
Shantanu, sorry, we lost you for a second.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah, sure.
I'll complain. I'll complain to your Wi-Fi provider later. You were saying the Gen T. You, again, using phrases I'm not
The
familiar with.
Gen
Yeah.
Z and millennials, I used to get 1,000 messages saying that you're so lucky, we would do anything, we would kill to be in your position, learn from him, etc. And at that point, I realized that maybe keeping the privilege of knowing Mr. Tata to myself is a little bit selfish. So, because I had all these notebooks that were filled already, I decided to share those perspectives with the world, share him in a different light because people have always talked about his business milestones and his legacy, which is pretty strong. But this particular side, nobody knows, and it would really be sad if I was the only person who took it to my grave. And all these millennials just yearning. And I initially took it as flattery, people saying that I want to be in your shoes. But eventually I realized that's actually true. That's a true, authentic request where they really want to know about him. So
Right.
that's when I started to think about putting it in a book and giving it to everyone out there.
Okay, before you get into the animal aspect of it all, let me just get Rishi in because he's sitting there doing nothing for 7 minutes. And Indian men, when you leave them alone for 7 or 8 minutes, you know what happens. I'm a little worried about that. Let's put him back in. So Rishi, what's the connection with Shantanu?
Uh,
Is it through the Tatas? Because let's quickly mention that you are Sparsh. You guys
yes.
have been doing, firstly, you're WSD, Welfare of Stray Dogs,
Yes.
the greatest organization in the world, bar none, as far as I'm concerned. And so you started with helping with being a lawyer, firstly, and doing, people should know because everyone says they have no time, Rishi. This is what irritates me. Mere paas time nahi hai, kaam both hai, all that. And then you two guys who are doing full-time jobs and, you go beyond the pale and do it. So I think people should know that there's no such thing as no time. You just, if you're passionate, you do things. In between, Shantanu will play the guitar anytime it becomes too serious. He's promised. I've got a request line. People are watching. If there's a song you want to hear from the 60s or 70s, he's ready to play it. So Rishi, sorry, let's get right
Yeah.
into the fact that what is the connection then with you two?
So I'll just tell you a short part of the journey. So
Because my question is so long, we have no time.
So you know me from the days of the welfare of stray dogs.
Correct.
So that's where I kind of got onto the field and started treating stray dogs. Classically, I used to come to meet your dog, Princess, who you had kind of
in the building.
in the building. I am a lawyer and I have a law firm of my own. But the thing
Would you like to plug the law firm?
huh?
Would you would you want us to talk about your law firm for 2 minutes or business booms?
No. Not at all.
You know that nobody's listening, so it would be a waste of your time. Go on. Yeah.
So what you told, Cyrus, it's all about priorities, right? In a sense, I was lucky to have Parsi partners in my law firm who used to get me out of a meeting and say, "Oh, let's go and see a cow. It looks injured." And
The government will thank you.
Huh?
This government will thank you. That was a wonderful segue. We may get government sponsorship at this rate.
Yeah. So after that, kind of, we've continued with Sparsh, and Sparsh is into both your animal welfare and human welfare. We work with a lot of tribal kids, education, nutrition, etc. But animal welfare is, of course, the closest to my heart. Now, there's an irony. I've got allergic to dog fur. So doing all the animal welfares, I can't be with dogs. But the story which got me to the Tatas is a dog called Julie, who had littered in the fountain area, and her pups were abandoned. And I got to kind of rescue them. And imagine who gave them the final shelter. It was the Tatas. So somebody took me to the Tatas and they said, "All right, you've done a good job. Here is a space for all the kids with the mom. Mom's name is Julie, and they were looked after forever." And I think Shantanu knows me because of that episode, because I
And,
kind
and legend has it, Shantanu, Rishi, both, that Ratan Tata and the Tata family, once the dogs are inside their compound or looked after them, they're untouchables, literally. Is
Yeah,
it
that's
true?
actually true. Yeah,
And
that's
that whether
completely
you're a
true.
dog lover or not, you better be careful. You do not vent or spew or ask the dog to be removed or anything like that.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
my
they.
office was right across Bombay House, and I've seen that because all the foreign delegates will come and the dog will not move. The dog will be on the red carpet and everybody's moving around them. And that
That's
was something that was amazing.
I wish Tata's built their own country. I mean, they built their own city in Jamshedpur, but this sounds like paradise to me, a perfect place. Human beings have to go by the wayside, and the animals have right of way. Dreams, I say. Yeah, sorry. So the connection between you two, you were Bombay House, opposite Bombay House, and
Julie and the pups were given a place at VT, which is a building which belongs to the Tatas. And once the pup became a little big, they were carried to Mr. Ratan Tata's office, where Shantanu, Denise, Dilnaz,
where they work in sales and marketing even till today. No, sorry, go on.
and I used to visit them. And I think when Shantanu wrote this book, he was searching for an animal NGO, animal welfare NGO, which he can donate the proceeds to. And I was lucky enough to kind of get that opportunity.
No, but so did you all know each other on a first name basis, or you just because of the search to find someone and marry it with the book kind of thing you all met? I thought you guys knew each other as well.
So I can actually
Yeah.
jump in there. Rishi's organization Sparsh has a bird shelter also, which is very close by.
Right.
And whenever one of Rishi's
Just
volunteers used to
1 second,
rescue,
Shantanu, because I've got a lot of vulgar people listening. By birds, it's not like ladies. Birds means actual fleshy, feathery birdies.
yeah, the ones that fly. Yes,
Idia.
that's correct. So whenever one of his volunteers used to rescue a bird or a snake, even, or all these different kinds of exotic creatures who used to be in trouble, they used to bring it to Mr. Tata's office first and sort of show us, because all of the Parsi ladies at the office are very avid animal lovers themselves, and they would always be curious about what's the story behind this rescue. So before they were let out into the world again, they would always bring. So I knew of Rishi, and then this one time that he's talking about these puppy adoptions that happened through the office were with the help of Rishi, and I knew of him, but through these interactions, I sort of got to know him more. But I knew that he was sort of an up and coming organization, which is a very different animal welfare organization as compared to the big, gigantic organizations who have a lot of visibility, marketing, and brand ambassadors who raise funds for them. So this was like the perfect fit, an up and coming struggling organization who's doing great work. And that's why I chose for Rishi.
This is layered compassion. You're able to see which agency or NGO needs your help in a sense also, rather than just go to PETA or something like that. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Not that PETA's bad, they're great leaders of the revolution. Okay, so now let's get back to the Tata side of the whole thing. You're working for him and you get first hand. Can you give us some anecdotes about where the animal love that you first hand that you witnessed?
I think it's ingrained. I mean, people always want a story from where it started in that in Mr. Tata's life, or in generally the Tata's life.
Yeah.
But it's that general sense of empathy. It's the general sense of empathy that that has always kept them sensitive towards animals. So it's not a particular incident that sort of sprouted love for animals. And the Bombay House incident is, of course, one. Now they have a separate room, but they always used to be sprawled all over the entrance. So
But
that's
is
just
it
one
true?
example.
If you're looking for a promotion and you're walking into the office area, then you quickly go and feed a doggy or pat him. You go, "Hi, Julie, came to Julie, came to," and you give a hug and all that, and then your promotion is assured. Is
Cyrus,
that
that's gonna be
just?
Goa.
Sorry.
That's gonna be Goa.
Oh,
Yeah.
is it? Oh, Goa is separate, is it? Another stronghold.
That's his favorite office dog. He always waits for Mr. Tata. He knows the office timings.
Huh.
Whenever Mr. Tata's car pulls him, he will clear the road. He will not let anyone walk on the street.
What a guy!
And yeah, and
he's
he's always
named Goa.
sitting. Yeah, he's always sitting in all of Mr. Tata's meetings within the cabin itself.
He's got my vote. He's on the board, chairman of the board, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I remember American entrepreneurs growing up. I can't remember names and all, but many of them who being animal lovers, the Doberman will be sitting in the boardroom for the one or two guys who are really phobic. Can you imagine? Or maybe a guy from another culture who's not very dog friendly. But I just love those moments. So let's get back to the book now. Can we show it again?
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Okay.
It's
So
a,
take us through the book a little bit. Obviously, you can't tell us everything, but give us a little
yeah.
couple of incidents or anything.
It's a very, it starts with the fact how we met because of these collars and because of the dogs, which is why I decided to bring it full circle. The proceeds should go back into animal welfare because this was never a professional milestone or career milestone to make money. It's just something to capture the friendship. And these are all anecdotes about my time with him, both in a
So
professional.
would you write that down in a diary format, like a
Yes.
blog sort of?
Yes.
And then
It
you
was a hard copy.
Okay, and then you
Yeah.
went and you sort of generated the
Typed
whole thing
it out.
together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's all anecdotes about friendships and different sides of him, like this witty, friendly side, and how he disarms people completely, even when they're tense. When you enter a room with Mr. Dada, people think, what can I possibly say that can be of value in this particular meeting, which was me to begin with. But when he starts talking, he's such a disarming a person who has a great sense of camaraderie.
Oopsie.
Very overwhelming.
All right.
It's very overwhelming how much of a friend he can be in an instant. So
did I tell you
the book is filled with anecdotes about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Did I tell you my Sam Manekshaw, the great field marshal story?
No.
Do you know who he was, Shantanu?
I think
greatest military commander, 71 war, etc., etc. They called him Sam Manekshaw Bahadur. He was the first field marshal. Anyway, he came to my building when I was a young boy, and my dog Figaro Beagle and my dad and me were downstairs playing. And my dad saw him, and amongst the Parsis especially, he was such a super celebrity, like Ratan Tata, that everybody wants to go and whatever. So very nicely, he went up to him. My dad was quite tall, and Mr. Manekshaw wasn't that tall. He went up to him and told him in Gujarati that he Nallo meaning young one wants to meet you, and because we've heard so much about you, he just wants to say hi. I of course didn't know anything, but I came and stood there. So he looks at me and he looks at my dad and says, "Teni naam such hai? What's his name?" So my dad proudly says Cyrus. "Hey, teni naam nahi, doggy no naam such hai." And I loved him even more. I was like, this man after my heart, destroyed Pakistan, pushed everybody back, but dog came first. I love these stories. And I think Ratan Tata is cut from the same cloth. You got that, millions of dollars floating in his head, great, investments here and there, and, all these books to balance, etc., and deal with so many people, crises every 5 minutes. But, take a break because Goa has come. So to have a minute with him. So, I don't know. I really believe people, what do you think? Connection with animals helps a lot in sort of therapeutic ways for yourself?
Definitely. Because in Mr. Tata's words, it's this one-sided complete gush of unconditional love that it's not based on any reason. It's always available and they're always there for you. And that sort of it's pretty overwhelming.
I told Rishi, marriage is a failed concept. Once you keep a dog or even a cat or even a bajrigar, the wife or the husband cannot match up to those values. There's no point.
But then you need the wife's clinic to do the show, right?
See, that's why you're a Gujarati Manas and you have the ability to think ahead. Now, we would have stopped, but you've kept marriage for logistical reasons and I respect you. Acha, bossy, sorry?
Yeah. I'm here to get married, so I don't want to kill my chances by.
No. You play the guitar for us for 1 minute, na? Because I want to ask Rishi a little bit about what he's doing. He's got a huge project outside Vapi somewhere, and I want to quickly get that in. So can we hear a couple of notes before we do that?
No, that's absolutely not happening.
Why?
I'm a very bad amateur player. That's not.
How much is that Doggy in the Window? It's a famous 60s song. I'll sing it for you.
Absolutely not.
You cannot be an amateur player. You've got an electric guitar that costs a hell of a lot of money. With that comes 3 other instruments, electronic gadgets. So, boss, that kind of investment is not made in an educated family for a guy who can't play the guitar. So do not lie to me. Tell me you don't want to play. I'll accept it because you're here. We're celebrating you and what you've done.
Let's go to Rishi first. We'll see about
Rishi
that.
first. Rishi, so of course, all this people always criticize us for being animal lovers. What do you do for humans? But I think you're one of those guys whose compassion is not bound by I love animals and not humans, or I love humans and not animals, and all that selective compassion. You have a real strong connect with kids as well.
Yeah, so the idea is that unfortunately there is a lot of conflict, human-animal conflict which always is very hard on the animals. because humans always get their way through. So I always work towards with a lot of kids, because that's the generation that you can create compassion in. You can make them realize that, all right, they are very important to us. And believe me, so when I go to the villages, I always tell this. So you have this small kid lying in a bad mud pool, pulling a dog's tail, and he's so happy, and the dog is also not worried. And if you see that in Bombay, you'll have like 15 ayahs running for saving the kid.
Or in my house, saving the dog. But yeah, whatever.
So,
Manik Shah no ghar and Brocha no ghar and Tata no ghar.
so we work with a lot of kids all around the tribal areas, and we have also done a lot of digitalization of the village schools, and so on and so forth. We have a Sunday meal program, and Sparsh is, like you said, we balance the animal welfare and the human welfare. And what Shantanu just mentioned, so the rescues are actually done by my mentors, the Pradeep D'Souza's and the
Yeah, let's give a shout to both of them quickly.
Yeah, they are the real superheroes. Like, anybody who is in this city and doesn't know about their work they are running NGOs. So to keep it
Mobile NGOs.
and to keep it simple, they will never be seen anywhere. So they are the ones who are actually doing the work. And Sparsh is actually founded only for them. We ended up doing much more. And one of the things also I want to share is Sparsh has a theory of helping those who help others. So we are not into competitive charity. If you are doing good, great. I will just support you for something, and that will make it more, right?
But that's what I like about you, Rishi. I remember when we met last, your point was very well made, and I think it just stands out in my mind. Every time you deal with an NGO or whatever, it's like, can you help us raise money? And fair enough, because that's the whole problem. You're the only person who said, look, I'm a Gujarati man, I know how to make money. Just the attitude is so refreshing. But I need to make money for the right people in the right way. Uh, so just tell us a little bit about because you're almost pulling out of your legal duties. Is that the right word to use? I mean, the partnership is there, the firm is there. I'm hoping the mullah is coming in, but you're almost now sinking completely, not sinking, pushing yourself completely into the zone of charity.
So I have this amazing team who has think that, yes, when Maharshi is doing Sparsh, we should not talk law, because that's very dangerous. So my partner is somebody who will tell me, all right, तेरे को 6 महीना जाना है तो घूम के आ, तू सब काम कर, मगर पार्टनरशिप में से मत निकल, तू वापस आ, हम लोग चालू है, the partnership is on. And it's just the team. It's just a team. And yes, you're right. I have right now too many things. There's an orphanage, there's an old age home, there is an animal shelter. So there are too many things that I have taken up.
The only thing you don't have is Wi-Fi, Salo. Crores of rupees to be spent all over Maharashtra and Gujarat, saving lives, animals, and two-legged and four-legged and birds. But you can't get yourself a decent Wi-Fi. You have to go to the clinic.
The point is, we have an MTNL Wi-Fi, and
so do we.
Since 10 days.
We are also like, don't worry, then we finally succumb to the power of the real government and put Jio as well. Okay.
So Cyrus, the idea is that there's a lot happening, but yes, animal welfare remains the core. And the more we can help upcoming NGOs, and even big NGOs are struggling for funds. Like you said, Gujaratis and Marwadis are the real money getters, Bigger NGOs doing better work say, we know everything, but not to raise money. So
no, it's the right attitude, is it not? That it's a positive thing you're doing. So you should have a positive outlook to it. Of course, you'll raise money. People just feel like, oh, nobody paisa nahi hai, or people like, it's not a begging thing. What you're doing is, it's actually a spiritual awakening. If you look at it that way, it's the other philosophy. It is not that, oh, please help me. It is, God, why aren't you helping me? Why aren't you helping yourself?
So I'll tell you, when we started this, the first thing is people used to call me mad, and then after a while, it became a compliment. I said, if you want to come on my side of the life, you'll have to be mad. And now my kind of way of calling mad is making a difference. So that's mad. So if you don't want to be mad, just stick to your jobs, make your money, and one day just perish, and you live your life.
Okay, let me ask Shantanu to critique that. Are you happy with his acronyms? MAD, make a difference? I don't think advertising career is the right choice. I think stick with what he's got. Intelligent man, financial, yes, charity, of course. And law is always there to fall back on. Yeah. Okay, before we invite Silvery on, I want to show the book again one more time. Yeah. Has Ratan Tata read the book?
Yeah, of course. Because he's this shy, reclusive personality and always has been, it was very important that he reads through the complete draft. And
Okay.
fortunately, he didn't make a single change in the book, which was very surprising to me. He gave it back to me. He said that it's a very light-hearted read. It's very
So maybe
pure.
he didn't read it.
No, he did use particular parts and particular memories as references. So I know very much he read it. And then he wrote me like a very heartfelt letter after that, because that's how he likes to express his emotions usually. Talking about how much he values our friendship, camaraderie, and how much he values the book. So it's a very different book on him. That's never like nobody's written anything like this before. People talk about the
I
nano.
think it's
People
far
talk
more
about,
interesting not to devalue economics and company law and everything else, which is so much fun. And on dates, all the
Yeah.
girlfriends I've had, I only speak to them about company law, Article 18B, paraphrase 2. But yeah, no, I think humanizing great people or achievers is almost more fun. Even
Exactly.
whether they're revolutionaries or whatever. I mean, that side is so easy to Google in a sense, right? But when you
Exactly.
see the man and see the humane qualities, either you feel a connection or not, depending on who the person is. But
And
yeah,
I think it amplifies inspiration more, because once you see them as relatable human beings, you start thinking that I could also do all of the things that this person is doing. But Indian culture usually is so idolatory and idolizing that we think that whatever this celebrity is beyond our reach for all of our lives. So the humanizing thing sort of bridges that and lets you sort of see them in their own light and also get inspired them in a very real way instead of this celebrity kind of
so
way.
bottom line, has he given you some old Tata shares?
No, absolutely not. I don't.
Would you like to take
I
this
don't.
offline for 2 seconds? Tell me, because I'm looking for a few. Well, in this dark depression that we went through, even Rishi said it won't tell me what to invest in. Today it went up. Yesterday it went up 50,000. Huh? Everything was looking hunky dory again.
The only financial highlight I have is a crippling student loan that I still keep paying. So I
Hey,
don't have any
chalo,
shares as such.
पीछे है ना degree of business from Cornell. Don't lie to me.
That's exactly what cost me the handcuff of the student loan.
Yeah.
So yeah, अभी ये
Alright, but
दिखाना पड़ेगा कुछ.
you're working in Tata. You're taken care of for life, and now I mean, at this young age, you're on first name basis. Well, when I say first name, I'm hoping you don't say Ratan, but you know what I mean. Listen,
Yeah.
guys, you've been great. It's fantastic. Sadly, we have a time limit, so now we have to call in Silvery. The second part, there's AMA questions coming. There may be subjects that none of us are interested in, so please keep cool. You, Shantanu, you keep the guitar handy for any pressure or anything that happens. But first, we'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back. Bro, I'm live, so you'll just sit somewhere 20 minutes. I told her 11, bro. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Ready? Silvery?
Hey guys. Good morning.
Okay.
Uh,
Silvery is now. Yeah, sorry, go on.
all right, we have a couple of interesting news topics, and then we can just get to the AMAs. The first news topic comes in from Waco, Texas. Actually, both the news
Waco,
topics are from
Waco.
Texas. Waco,
Waco,
Texas.
Punjabi, yaar. It's Waco.
Okay,
One of the
it's
biggest
Waco.
human tragedies happened many years ago, yaar. Tell
Okay.
me.
I Waco at 9:30 every morning. Yes.
I don't Waco at all. Rishi is not laughing. No, Rishi's frozen.
Oh, Rishi's frozen. Yeah.
Just BJP to take note. We said Rishi is his name. Go on.
Okay. All right.
You're
Okay.
frozen
So
a Rishi, that's why.
okay, I Waco. Yeah. So Waco, Texas. There was a family at 2 a.m. in the morning. Their house caught on fire. Okay, but all of them had COVID, so they couldn't smell it. But one family member who didn't have COVID smelled it and then got everyone else out of the house. Basically, the entire family could have died had the fire had the house caught on fire and they couldn't have smelled it. But one teenager, 17-year-old girl.
So is this true? A lot of people say that one of the symptoms is that you lose a sense of smell. Rishi, you're
Yeah,
back. Don't worry, you're back. Looking lovely.
the statistic is that 86% of people with mild symptoms end up losing their sense of taste and smell. So this happened at some point, right? Like, so eventually, this would have happened somewhere in the world for sure, where someone's house caught on fire and they couldn't smell it.
Let's ask the young man. He's flabbergasted. They could have
Yeah,
all
I think I've seen the loss of taste and smell more in young people actually, with no other symptoms. It's very mysterious.
No, you're mistaken. Young people have no taste and no class, and hence no smell. Also, you can attribute to them. Yeah, we get what you're saying. You think that's true?
Come back, but I'm promoting my book. So
yeah, please promote your book. The glove has come back from out of nowhere next to Rishi. I love that glove. That glove interrupts the podcast in a beautiful way. Rishi, what's going on? What is she handling? Why are you smiling so much? What's going on in the background? This is not that kind of show. You're getting yourself sanitized, and where?
Yeah. How dirty is your laptop?
My God, really? We talk about tragedy here. Fire destroying people. Okay, Rishi is back, Shantanu is back, so we can keep going. Silvery, any other thing? Any other topic
Yep,
quickly?
sure. This one is also very interesting. Comes in from Dallas, Texas. Is it Dallas?
Who cares?
Yeah.
Just say
This one comes in
Texas,
from
yaar. Huh.
yeah, comes from Dallas, Texas. A US man, paid 55 lakhs to increase his height
Oh yeah, I
for
read about that one.
via surgery.
Okay, just wear
So,
heels.
but
25 bucks.
okay, can you guess how much he would have increased his height? I'll let you guess this.
Quarter inch.
Like by how much do you think?
Point
Quarter
two
inch.
five.
Okay.
Yeah, me.
Okay.
2
Rishi?
inches.
Okay. Fair.
Shantanu,
Okay.
2 inches.
Shantanu says 2 inches. Rishi, what
Rishi?
do you think he would have
About an
increased his height
inch.
So we are all
by? Okay.
conservative here.
Shantanu is right. Shantanu is right. This guy was already 5'11". He increased height to 6'1". I'm like, what's the point? You're already so tall.
I know why. I know
2
why.
inches.
Because girls in the Tinder bios these days have if you're not
Oh, above
6 feet
6
and
feet.
over, don't even bother.
Hey,
messaging.
beta, at your age, what are you doing on Tinder?
Shantanu.
What the hell? What's happened to this generation?
I'm not on Tinder and I'm 28.
But then how do you
Yeah.
know all this?
Yeah.
I'm 28.
But how do you know all this?
Oh, come
No,
on.
Rishi should
he's
be-
been telling people his height is 6 plus.
I think Rishi went on Tinder in between the show. Twice he just logged off, went on Tinder and came back. He had a good idea. But why can't
Just
you
an interesting
lie? On Tinder, I'm saying you just lie. What's the problem? I mean, everybody lies.
Yep.
I mean,
You
not
have to
everyone.
meet them eventually. I think you have to meet them eventually.
You have low self-esteem. You don't expect anyone to ever meet you. So at least in your dreams, you put up a data
Yeah.
there and a biodata which makes you sound like I am this super achiever. Huh.
Also, if you're 5'11", you can easily lie and say, I'm 6 feet. Nobody's
Most
going
men
to.
do that. Cyrus
I guess.
Saukar, my
Yeah.
esteemed colleague. So
Yeah.
he always said he was 6'3". And once we did a bakra on him, where we had this guy with a Canadian accent call him for a movie. And in that, the questions were, will you please send your height, weight, and all that. And the accurate thing, because very important for the choosing of the cast. So he then sent 6'2". So I had that with me. So the next day I was very angry. I said, Baba, you said 6'3", now you're 6'2", and I'm too short to notice the difference now because you're far above me. So everybody does that. I think everyone, Arnold Schwarzenegger is not really 6'2", but always says 6'2", but he apparently was about 1.5 inches less than that in actuality. So, Silvery, how much are you?
I am 5'10". I increased by 3 inches. No.
Okay. In that case, I'll
I,
take 6.
I pay the doctor 60 lakhs.
I'll take exactly round figure 6.
Yeah.
I went to a vet, much cheaper. Everything is done through the anus. That's the only thing. That's the problem with the medication.
But isn't this a cool thing though? Like a cool discovery that you can actually increase your height if you want to.
I don't.
So-
Is that real?
This
Yeah,
is
it's
actually
very
real.
real, yeah.
And this is one process to do it. They increase the length of the femur. It's called the femur lengthening. Another way to do it is something called like there's one more part that you can lengthen, which can increase your height to like 3 inches or 4 inches.
Ah,
even.
no. That's called a patla. We do it in cinema. You stand on the patla and you're higher. Most short actors are used to that. They have to carry the patla with them wherever they go. Director shot ready hai, ready hai. Patla dalo.
I think this will become a thing very soon because anyways in Korea and stuff they put all these stuff in their shoes to appear tall.
Slightly racist.
Yeah.
Slightly. We have lots of Korean
This is
MNCs. Yeah, I would like
statistic.
their benefactory nature towards us. But the problem is the pricing. Na? It's like baldness or
expensive.
whatever.
Yeah.
The cure is
Yeah.
there. If the cure is there, if the pricing is ridiculous, then who can avail of this so-called 1 inch, 2 inches? Imagine going to your father and saying, give me 60 lakhs. I want to go to 5'10". He'll be like, get lost.
Yeah.
After the beating, you'll be
Exactly.
5'7". Yeah.
Very true. So yeah, this guy said he had to convince my family and all, but once they realized that it's safe, they were
Yeah.
fine with it. But again, that's too expensive a process for sure. Agreed.
Anyway,
Okay.
there's another thing I want to increase. Is there a way to do that? Why are you laughing? How cynical can you
this
be, youngsters?
hair. Talking about hair, right?
Hair. Of course, hair. तूने क्या सोचा गब्बर?
Alright.
Okay, let's move on. Next
Should
one.
we, yeah,
AMAs?
should we go
Yeah.
to get to the AMAs?
Yeah, yeah,
let's
yeah,
do the AMAs. All right, AMAs. First one comes in from Karan Sethi. He asks Cyrus, with Liverpool losing yet again, which team is your pick for the Premier League title now?
I haven't slept. Okay, my boy went mad from 2 o'clock, crying and screaming and kicking furniture. My mother has not slept. We've had a terrible morning. You don't understand. Please call up that Jurgen Klopp and talk to him, because I if we want to fix the match, I will help fix the match. But this is not. I mean, we can 60 lakhs on height. We can save it on Liverpool. This is nonsense. Uh, I don't know. It's a horrible time for us, because they had such a great year and they started well enough now, and now it's slipping. Last 2 weeks have not been very good, and it's I don't know. Are you a Premiership follower, Shantanu?
No, not really. No.
No. All right, Rishi.
No.
The question is wasted on all of you, both of you. The
Very
Beatles
sad.
come
Very
from
sad.
Liverpool, so we have that. Three of us like the Beatles at least.
Yes.
Sylvie, you're a football follower. What do you think?
I'm not a football follower. Like,
What do you follow, man? You don't like cricket, you don't like football, you don't want to increase your
I
length. What the hell do you do?
I follow my favorite comedians.
Comedy is not a sport. Comedy is a jail term.
Yeah,
Ask
but
Munawar.
Oh boy.
that's true. That's true.
Is he still in jail?
Well, yeah, is Munawar is still in jail. Very sad. Yes.
Okay, this is
It's
episode number
22 days
17
now.
or so. Yeah, 20. How much?
Yeah,
How many days?
22 days now. It's 22nd.
That's not funny.
Since the first, no?
You guys know the
Yeah.
story, no? Munawar Farooqi, the comedian
Yeah.
who's in Madhya Pradesh jail for some jokes on the internet, not the ones that he was trying to do in the show, by the way. Anyway, I mean, if on the internet, if you want to catch people, I mean, just look at the kind of explicit crap that's on it. I mean, no one will be left alive if you go by the book,
Yeah.
Silvery and I only watch negative stuff, right? Silvery, he sends me
Yeah.
videos of executions and all that.
Oh
So we
my
have
God.
animal
Yeah,
and
that's
animal and
Oh wow.
activists
exclusively.
and compassionate people on the show. And this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Off with his head.
Okay,
He
follow.
raped the dog. Imagine killing the guy and taking his dog home. Maro de psycho. Hey, Baba. Right. Okay, sorry.
All
Next
right,
one.
yeah. Next one comes in from, it's a weird handle, D3
Hey, hang on. Show the
Monify.
book. Show the book, Shantanu. Show the book. You have to keep showing the book. You have to plug the book. I came upon a lighthouse.
Yes.
This is the voiceover voice. I came upon a lighthouse by Shantanu.
An
Naidu.
illustrated book.
Illustrated book. Proceeds go to Sparsh Maharishi Dave at the bottom of my screen, at least. Okay, back to you, sir. Bolo.
Yeah, this one.
We're just
comes in
fooling them.
from
They think people are going to now turn around and
Monify.
buy the book.
I'm fully aware that's not gonna happen.
How sweet. So now he's joined us. Huh? First, he was nice enough to say, "No, uncle, it's okay. Somebody's watching." And I think, forget it. You're a loser. But I'm just doing this. Rishi forced me. Sorry, go on. Next one.
Yeah. This one comes in from D3 Amonify. It's a weird handle. It says, since all are animal lovers here, what are your thoughts on and suggestions for people who are inhumane to animals?
Yeah, I think I've become a little militant. I need to control myself, but I don't know. My blood just keeps rushing. I get more angry with the passive aggression towards animals. Pulling the children away from the dog, and suddenly squealing
Yeah.
when the dog passes.
Yeah.
What I like best is kiska hai. Like kiska hai, what does that even mean? I say kiska hai because I don't know how to answer that. God ka hai, Bhagwan ka hai, hum sab Bhagwan ka. I say things like that. The
I think the
universe
answer
is-
to that is in what Rishi already said. Instead of educating the parents that keep pulling the kid away, it's preparing the kids for the future so that they don't keep doing this. And it's remarkable what kind of effects you can have. You just go to schools, talk to the students, and they will go home and have an argument with their parents and say that, no, I don't want to stone the dog, or I don't want to. It's
Hey, Rishi,
completely.
quickly tell us that anecdote, no, from Vapi with the tribal kids who used to kill the kabutar, was it?
So they use this kachi or gulel, the rubber that they call, to kill the birds because that's something that traditionally they have been doing since years. And when I was meeting them, it just struck me that it's impossible to save so many birds by making a bird shelter because each kid literally kills a couple of birds every day. So now we are actually making a video which is going to spread awareness. And I've had a lot of one-to-one meetings. And it really works, Cyrus. The point is I just asked them a simple question. I said, your parents have gone to work and they don't come in the evening. What happens to you? And they get thinking over it. And I said that bird you killed, maybe somebody's mom. And believe me, so they just come and give me the kachi and say that in Gujarati they said that "Unkadi ave nahi maru koi ne." So it's almost touching their heart with the right thought, and it works.
It's like getting a terrorist to lay down his arms, literally, to reform. But yeah, I suppose we try with the kids. But I think I'm just so cynical because over the years, it's like racism for me. When you look at a dog size or a cat or whatever, and you decide that and people, they touch the cow with reverence, but with fear. You want to touch the cow? Touch the cow. Don't go like quickly touch him from the back and scare the cow unnecessarily with your nervous touch.
But
There's no connect.
cows have actually become tickets to heaven. In a sense, you just take some grass and give the cow, and all
And
of a
your karma is done.
And I'm like, the cow was tied at a signal for 8 hours. It was like tortured because you wanted to feed it
And the sun.
grass. And it's a horrible business. And just to add one thing, when I was in WSD, somebody had asked me that you're a dog lover. So why do you why don't you just take all the dogs away?
They always say this. Always say this.
Yeah.
This is something very amazing, ये कुत्ता अच्छा लगता है तो घर पे लेके जाओ. So, so the thing is, I told this that we sterilize dogs or we spay them so that their population reduces. Even if you hate it, you do the same thing, right? You don't want dogs. So pick them up and get them all neutered so that population doesn't increase. So if you love them or you hate them, the road
why should you hate anything? I mean,
maybe they are hating themselves also. So
yeah, that's what this hatred is a
Don't
psychological
know
base
that.
to it. Makes no sense. It's literally like prejudice, like racism. You can't just hate people because they look different or walk different. I mean, if that is the reason, I hate everyone. I slightly do,
But Cyrus, I kind of get calls saying, "Can you take all the dogs? बहुत भूख रहे."
Yeah.
that also, yeah.
Societies
Wow,
are
where do I
terrible
get
at
Your
this.
DJ Rishi, I'll cut the sound, yaar. Doggy, 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 stoop, doggy, 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 dog. Sorry, Rishi, I'm just trying to impress Silvery and Shantanu, generation, which is, I have no idea who. Boys to men, is there any? I don't know what's the. There must be a middle path between our generations. Some band, Pearl Jam. I don't know what to look at. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry. Can we squeeze one more in?
Yes, one more.
Use a phrase.
This one comes in from Fakhruddin H. He
Okay,
asks,
that's my dad's pet
yeah.
name. Farouk. He's called Fakhruddin. For some reason, people think it's funny. Huh?
Okay,
bolo.
so Fakhruddin has asked, hi Cyrus and everyone. There seems to be a big surge on all celebrities going to the Maldives. Nobody seems to be going to any other place except for the Maldives. I think the Maldives tourism department is paying these celebrities to come visit, because again, why isn't anyone else going anywhere else? What are your thoughts on this?
No, but that's a practical point. No, they check you properly, they test you, and they release you, and they have not got cases, so they're carrying on making money. And why not? If you can figure out tourism, you can manage, and people are going. But I think by and large, all countries will want this test now for some time. Or you'll have to have a vaccine approved. What do you think, Rishi? You'll have to have a vaccine approved certificate or something when you travel. I may be going to Dubai in mid-Feb, so I'm also trying to figure out.
Like I told you, I'm half of the time in tribal villages where the
You
one
don't
house
need.
on one hillock and the other is far, far away. So social distancing is never a problem.
Right. Okay, and you're not traveling outside India. You want to first heal India before you move to even say Bangladesh. Shantanu, what do you think? You're a young boy. You will be traveling maybe for work with the Tatas or as a young man
Yeah.
looking at the world.
Yeah, my entire travel is with Mr. Tata. My own travel is not as much, but he is an octogenarian, so he's at very high risk. So we have stopped travel for now. We've been here for the longest time. We
Doesn't he
haven't
go at
really
least to
traveled.
Alibag? I've seen him at the Alibag jetty in the old days.
I know, but I think it's undergoing some work because after the recent storm, I think he did some work, but he's not gone yet. He went to Pune recently. I don't know if you read about it. He has a beautiful lake house within the Tata campus there. He takes the dogs and he spends 2-3 weeks, end of the year there. So he was there right now.
I suppose a lot of people want to be one of Ratan Tata's dogs just to have a good life. Like, can I be your doggy? Just wear a mask, come there. Come, Monty, come, meet Mr. Tata. Oh, shit. Nearly broke the TV again. Sorry, guys. Yeah. All right. Silvery, one more. We do have time, or we're done.
I think we're done. I can squeeze in one more.
Okay, quick.
Are you guys cricket fans, Rishi and Shantanu?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, cool. This one is okay. So this one is this one comes in from Harvesh. Hi Harvesh. It says, Cyrus, what is the scoreline for England-India Test series? I think England are a better batting side than Australia and have a better attack. What do you think?
Yeah, my worry is only one thing. They played two. They were the second test match with Sri Lanka is going on. So they have these two warm-up tests on similar wickets before going to Chennai for the first two tests, which is slightly similar batting conditions, maybe. in terms of clay, soil, etc. But so they have those two warm-ups, and we are coming from bouncy wickets without any warm-up, any first-class cricket, and with no 11 available. 32 of our injured soldiers after that epic thing. I mean, we're going to have to ask for local guys in Chennai who've come to watch the match. We'll be like, yeah, Mr. Murthy, are you free? Can you just come to third man? Because you can see that Mr. Bumrah's ham is gone completely. And yeah, so my worry is more that. But I think first test, India has to be careful. After that, I think we'll recover. But first test match, I think England will be warmed up. Their two spinners have performed really well, Bess and Leach. And I can tell from Shantanu's staggered expression, he's like, can we go back to dogs, please? Rishi, what do you think? India should, it's Indian conditions. You just beat Australia, and Australia really shouldn't have a problem, right?
Yeah. I think right now at least the morale is high, and we should take it for like Australia जाके जीत के आया तो इधर तो जीतना ही
Sir,
पड़ेगा.
cricket is like life. It makes a mockery out of you. We now beat those guys on hard wickets, and now we struggle against spin on our own wickets. So I'm just warning you.
Yeah.
My own belief is that I love irony, and irony in the comedy of life is always the best thing. And how we beat them there, if they beat us here, I mean, but that's good. It's good for cricket, I guess.
Then they all go to Maldives.
Oh, England and India together, huh? And then we can sing Kumbaya. Kumbaya, my lord. Guitar, please. All right, guys, you've been wonderful. Can we see the book one last time?
One last time, yes.
That's Shantanu. He's just 28 years old, looks 16, but don't let the innocent looks belie the fact that he's a very hardworking, compassionate man who loves animals. And I think quite a visionary for such a young man. He put together the idea of Ratan Tata, his life with him, and the humane side of Ratan Tata, and he's tabled it for the posterity, for people to see what people leave behind, not just in terms of wealth, but in spiritual earnings, which of course I have none. Silvery, I hope one day you do have some. And I hope there's a doctor in US who for 60 lakhs can give us some spirituality. Because that used to be our thing, but now they are better. For how the world has changed. And Rishi, of course, Rishi was selflessly goes from, I mean, he's laughing and all that, but he spends, what is it, 20 days a month in some remote area trying to put things together, from build places, that permanent structures. You've got two big projects right now as we speak, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I'll tell Sonu Sood not to get involved with you, because at the moment that's a little dangerous. But guys, listen, great stuff. Please go and buy the book. And if you have Tata shares, everything has gone up yesterday, so it's looking hunky dory. I now have to go and wash the kitchen floor, which is my real duty at home.
Thank you,
Bye
Cyrus.
bye,
Very
everybody.
kind
Bye,
of you.
Rishi.
Thanks,
Bye,
Bye,
thanks,
Bye,
Cyrus.
Shantanu.
Bye.